New York State Trooper Nicholas F. Clark, 29, passed away in the line of duty on Monday, July 2nd, 2018 in Irwin, New York. Nick was born September 18th, 1988 in Wellsville to Anthony and Teresa Braystedt Clark. He was predeceased by his maternal grandmother, Donna Braystedt, in March of 2017. Nick is survived by his mother, Teresa, and her husband, Rick Gunn of Troopsburg, his father, Anthony, and his wife, Sandy Clark of Bath, a brother, Nathan, and his wife, Megan Clark, his maternal grandfather, George Braystedt of Troopsburg in Florida, paternal grandparents, Stephen and Linda Williamson, great-grandmother, Genevieve Williamson of Olive Greenwood, his step-grandparents, Otis and Juanita Shoemaker of Rochester and Irene Middleton of Bath, his step-siblings, Ricky Joe Gunn of Corning, Stephen and Amanda Fuller, Sarah Fuller, all of Canasteel, Leah and Chad Pierce of Wayland, as well as nieces Cadence and Cambry Clark, Sierra Gunn, Lily, Reese, and Brooklyn Fuller, and Lincoln Fuller, and Maxon Pierce. Nick was a lifelong resident of the Canasteel Valley, and he graduated from the Canasteel Greenwood High School in 2006. He was very gifted and stellar athlete, lettering in both football and wrestling, and was a state wrestling champ his senior year at the 189-pound division. He furthered his wrestling career by wrestling freestyle and Greco-Roman for the Apex Wrestling Club in Rochester for 2 years. After graduation, he enrolled at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, where he studied marketing on a wrestling scholarship. In 2008, he transferred here to Alfred University, where he received his bachelor's degree in environmental studies in December of 2011. While he was here at Alfred, he was a 4-year starter and an exceptional outside linebacker for the Alfred Saxons football team, where he set school records of tackle. He was named Empire 8 Conference All-Star from 2008 to 2011. From 2010 to 2011, a Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and was further named American Football Coaches Association First Team All-American. Nick graduated from New York State Police Academy in 2015. He was stationed in Ithaca, Auburn, and eventually settled in Steuben County at the Bath Station. Nick was very much an outdoorsman who loved to golf. He loved hunting and fishing and spending time with his families and friends. And I discovered that his nieces would call him Uncle Nicky because they loved him so very much. Nick had that smile, and I need to tell you, from knowing them, he had his mother's smile. Always that big, friendly smile. He was unselfish, he was dedicated to his profession, and we're going to miss him deeply. He was admired and appreciated by everybody he came across. And you're right, we won't forget him. What an amazing, amazing young man for what he had done. I have one written eulogy that I would like to read now. I would like to say it was an honor to be friends with Nicholas Clark. I've known Nick and Nate since they started summer recreation in Canasteel in the 90s. I was the director, but I acted like a kid, participating in dodgeball, wiffle ball, and football with them. I moved to North Carolina in 1995 and returned to the Canasteel Valley in 2000. I read about Nick on the football field and wrestling, Matt. The kid dominated all sports he was involved in, and that's very true. Nick and I reconnected after he was done at Alfred University. We started playing golf, hunted, and fished together. I knew Nick would be an unbelievable state trooper. I believed he scored 98 on a trooper test, and the process began. He was so excited, and I could not wait until he got out of the academy so we could spend time together. Nick completed the academy with a breeze. Everything came easy to him. His smile and drive was contagious. Nick was the guy you wanted next to you when things hit the fan. I loved every single second you spent with Carrie and I. You made life for everyone better that you touched. The Canasteel Valley, the New York State Police will never forget you, Nick. Rest in peace. God bless your family and friends, and I love you. And this is from Trooper Pete Peters of New York State Police, the Bath Division.
Today we honor the memory of Trooper Nicholas Clark, a well-respected state trooper, brother, and friend. To Nick's parents, Teresa and Tony, to his brother Nathan. On behalf of the New York State Police, I extend to you our deepest sympathies and condolences. To Governor Andrew Cuomo, our colleagues in law enforcement and public safety, thank you for being here to support the family of Trooper Clark, his friends, and the state police. Trooper Nicholas Clark was a 3-year veteran of the New York State Police. As a trooper, he started his career in Troop C before transferring home to Troop E, first to SP Auburn and then to SP Bath. Over the past week, I've learned that Nick had a true passion for life and that he was a natural leader. He was dependable, hardworking, humble, and kind. These are all crucial characteristics in being a great state trooper. Everyone has told me that public service was the perfect fit for Nick Clark. He was always helping others. Steady, consistent, and with a great sense of humor and self. Nick wanted to be the best at whatever he put his mind to. And by his example, he also lifted those around him, pushing them to be the best that they could be. Nick graduated from the State Police Academy, and his willingness to help others became his life's work. Nick knew that he was where he could make a difference, and like everything else that he put his mind to, he was good at it. One of his academy classmates remembered that as she drove into work on her first day, she was terrified that she would not make it through the field training program. She also remembers that on the way in, she saw Nick and his field training officer out on a traffic stop, and he had already had somebody under arrest on day one. She remembers being jealous because it seemed that Nick picked up things so quickly. Many have told me that Nick often made things look easy. But I suspect that Nick made things look easy because he was smart, but also because he worked very hard at what he did. His fellow troopers said that when things looked like they might go bad, Nick is the guy that they wanted next to him. Whether he walked into an event, a party, or in our case, answered a call, he had that presence. He just knew things would be better when Nick showed up. Nicholas Clark was a state champion wrestler and an All-American football player. He was also a New York State trooper with a no-nonsense exterior. But his friends and coworkers would tell you he also had a huge heart. He loved hunting, fishing, and his dog, Rocky. Nick obviously loved sports, and we know that he loved being a New York State trooper. But most of all, he loved his family. To all of Nick's friends and fellow troopers, I can tell you that nothing will ever be the same again. To Nick's family, I know that there is little we can say or do to ease your pain. For you, Nick's passing means missing the love and devotion of a caring son and brother. He reminds us how precious and fragile our lives truly are. I know firsthand that the pain and sorrow of our survivor families goes on. The New York State Police never forgets its fallen members or the families they leave behind. To Nick's family, I promise you, we will never leave you. His friends say that Nick was always their hero, the one who would always come to the rescue, the one who would always answer their call. Nick Clark answered our call on Sunday. His life was taken because he did what we asked him to do. He went into harm's way to protect the innocent. And despite the grave risk that he faced, he performed his duty to help others. That is a true hero. We can all learn from Nick Clark, from the example that he set in his 29 years here. Never hesitate. Challenge yourself. Smile. Laugh. Live life to its fullest. May God bless Nick for his courage, his selflessness, his sacrifice, and for his service to others. We are blessed for having had him as a New York State Trooper. To Trooper Nicholas Clark, I stand with your friends, your colleagues, and with all New York State Troopers to say, Trooper Nicholas A. Clark, Shield 5528, end of watch, 2 July 2018. Rest in peace.